Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. So today we continue to discuss about the life of Buddha. And last time we talked about how the Buddha prohibits the monks not to display the second power, the supernatural power, especially for the arhats, the one have achieved nirvana. So every one of them would get six type of supernatural power, like they have the second power of the eyes, second powers of the ears. They have the supernatural power or second power of flying everywhere, seen everywhere, hearing everything, and so forth. So for this reason, the Buddha prohibited them to display the power, especially right after the Arhat Indola, who was challenged by a wealthy merchant to pick up the great sandalwood that was hanging on the top of the trees. And so he uses supernatural power to take it down. So after that, the Buddha admonished him that monks not supposed to display those power because this may create the problems later on, that the lay people or the Buddhist people just focus on supernatural power. They don't focus on the teachings, on the practice to transform their sufferings. So all the teaching of the Buddha is based on the principle that transform the suffering into happiness, not to train or practice to attain supernatural power. Of course, those supernatural power or secret power are the products of the pure mind. So if they display carelessly, it would create the problems of the people later on, that they may go astray from the path that the Buddha laid out for them. That's why the Buddha would not approve them to do so. But he mentioned that he would display his supernatural power because the other religious leader heard that after the Buddha laid out that rules that prohibit his disciple to display the power, they thought that yes, if the Buddha prohibit his disciple to display the natural power, supernatural power, he would not do so. So they challenged the Buddha. So the Buddha accepted the challenge, and he mentioned that he would display supernatural power in Savatthi 4 months later. And you should know that I think I showed the map before. This is the place when he mentioned about this kind of precept in Raja, Gaha, and Sabbati's here, so this is long distance for him to go. And according to the Buddhist traditions, they say that all Buddhas in the past perform those supernatural power to defeat the other religious people or leaders. So that's why when he went there, he displayed those kind of powers, and the other religious leader, they run away, and one leaders before he could run away, he met a guy that was his followers. So his followers say that, well, I heard that you have challenged the Buddha to show up your supernatural power. I came here to see how you defeat Gautama Buddha. So at that time, that leaders so afraid that he jumped down to the river to commit suicide. And later on, the Buddha uses power, supernatural power, to fly on the air, to display how he walk, how he lie down, how he sit, and so forth. So this is the most important event that occur in his life. So he created like the pure rainbows. He walked from the east to the west of that rainbow, the west to east, and so forth, to work on the air. And after that kind of demonstration, he told his disciple that eventually he will fly to the heaven of the 32 or 33 heavens to teach his mothers. Yeah, so according to the legend, it say that the Buddha, after performing the twins miracles, mean on the top of his body he emit the fire, on the bottom he emit the water, and so on from every hair of his body he emit those things, water and the fire. So because of that kind of performance, many people believe in him. But because of the challenge, plus because he wants to demonstrate the Buddha power, that's why he displays no power, not for playing, but for the sake of sentient beings. So after the Buddha performed that type of twins miracles, so he taught himself that where did the past Buddha stay in the retreat, in this rainy retreat, after performing the miracles. So with that kind of contemplations, he became aware that there's many Buddha in the past, they have the custom to enter the resident of the heaven a word of 33 heavens to expound Abhidhamma, Pitaka, Abhidhamma. That means the book of analysis, commentaries. So in Buddhism, we have three collections. The first one is Sutta, and the second one is Vinaya. The third is the Abhidhamma. Let me share with you. Let me share with you the what they call Tripitaka. This means three baskets. Let me share with you the here. Tripitaka or Tripitaka mean three baskets of the Buddhist, and in these three baskets, Tripitakas, we have the baskets of sutra. That's mean the Buddha teachings mostly, and some of them were the teaching of his close disciple, like Sariputra and others. So in Pali, in Chinese, and in Tibetan languages now. Before they have the Tripitaka in Sanskrit, but it was lost by the 12th or 13th century when the Muslim invade northern part of India, and they burned the Nalanda University, the Buddhist university, for several months. That's the rest loss of Buddhism. But they have translate mostly from Sanskrit into Chinese and Tibetan languages. That's why now mainly we have three canyons: the Pali Canyon, the Chinese Canyon, and the Tibetan Canyon. So again, let me see. Let me show you this canyon, and that's what is called the. Let's see here. Yeah. Let me scroll down here. Okay, the three baskets, the Pitaka. So basket of discourses means the teaching of Buddhas, the basket of discipline of Vinaya Pitaka, the basket of analysis, Abhidhamma Pitaka. So the basket of discourse have the collection of long discourse, collection of middle length, the collection of current discourses, the collection of Jadu discourses, the miscellaneous collection, and this is from they have miscellaneous texts, part of Dhamma, Dhammapada, verse of oblique, and so forth. So these are belong to the baskets of discourse, basically the teaching of the Buddhas. And the baskets of discipline, that's mainly focused on the rules and regulation of monks and nuns. There's a major offense, minor offenses, dress session, lesson session, and so forth. And the baskets of analysis, the classification of phenomena, division, discourse, and elements, human types, points of controversy, the book of pairs, partial relations. and so forth. So these are the three baskets, the Pitaka. So the Buddha contemplate at that time that all Buddha in the past went to the heaven to speak Abhidhamma, or the baskets of analysis, to their former mothers. And we remember that after the Buddha was born 7 days, his mother, Queen Maya, passed away. And according to the legends, she was born in the Dusita heavens uh, because of her virtue and merit. And so, in order to repay the kindness of the mothers, the Buddha has sent to the heaven of 33 to teach her and others this Abhidhamma, the books of analysis. So when he uses power, I mean that's supernatural power, to go up there, he was welcomed by Sakya. This is the king of that place, and according to the Buddhist traditions, they say that the heaven of 33 those heavenly beings could live up to 36 millions of human years, because one day over there is equivalent to 100 years of our human realms. So they live up to 1,000 years. Yeah, so that's why it has the number of 36 million years of human years. So that's their lifespan. According to Vasubandhu, one of the Buddhist great master, he wrote that each celestial beings in the heaven of 32 is tall with a height of 1,500 feet, because of their karma, their good karma. So when the Buddha ascended them, and Sakya, the king of those gods in that heaven, prepare the yellow stone throne for the Buddha to sit, and that yellow stone throne is about 60 leagues long and 50 leagues broad. One league is about approximately 3.5 miles. So when the Buddha sat on that throne, he uses sacred power to appear in the large body and to give the teachings for them. And at that time, all the gods in that realms came to listen to Buddha teachings, including his former mothers. So when Mohyana. That's been the student, the Buddha, the one has second cow, the one that is a foremost disciple in second cow. He contemplate ways about the Buddha during that raining season. So somehow he entered samadhi and recognized as the Buddha went up to that heaven. And for the this Buddhist followers on earth, so somehow they wonder where the Buddha was. So eventually they knew that only Venerable Moggallana could know where the Buddha was. So that's why they gathered together and seek for Venerable Moggallana to ask where about the Buddha was. So when they came to see Venerable Moggallana, they asked him, do you know where the Buddha is spending the raining retreat? So at that time, the Venerable said that the Buddha is spending the raining retreat in the heaven of the 33. So he went there to teach the Dharma to his mothers and all the devas, that means celestial beings, in that 33 heavens. And so at that time, they were so delightful to hear that. And so after 3 months, again, the Buddhists, including monks, nuns, and lay people, approaches to Venerable Moggallana again, and they inquire when will the Buddha come back to teach them, because they really miss them. So at that time, Venerable Moggallana said that let me go up there and ask Buddha. And of course, they're so delightful to have Venerable Moggallana to fly up there to ask the Buddha when would Buddha come back here. So after everyone left, the Venerable entered the concentration samadhi. So within a split second, he used his second power to appear in the heaven of 33. And at that time, the Buddhas were still teaching the Dharma to the assembly of celestial beings in that heaven. So there was numerous of celestial beings and Bodhisattvas came to listen to the Buddha teachings. So at that time, Venerable Moggallana seeing the Buddha from afar, he was so joyful, and he thought that I would inquire when will the Buddha come down on earth to teach all the Buddhists down there. So at that time, the Buddhas could read the mind of Venerable Moggallana, and he said to the Venerable that when I wish to teach the Dharma to those celestial beings, they would come right away together to listen to my teaching. But when they wish them to leave, they will leave right away. So they come, follow my intention, and they go follow in my intention. So at that time, when Mogayana approached to the Buddhas and pays respect, uh, so he respectfully told the Buddha that this very kinds of celestial beings have come together in this great assembly. Um, so there in this great assembly, the celestial beings who have heard the Dhamma taught Buddha before, uh, and they have attained any perfect confidence in you after they pass away from the human realms. So his question is that for those assembled gathered here to listen to the Buddha teachings, did they come from human realms after they pass away because of their strong faith in the Buddha? Uh, so remember, in Buddhism, we know that uh, we could be reborn as human again. We could be reborn in the heaven. Remember, there's many levels, heavens, not one levels that I experienced last time. We have the heavens in the desire realms. There's six types of heaven in the desire realms, and the heaven in the form realms, and the heavens in the formless realms. And some of them could live up to trillion and trillions years. But when their lifespan were exhausted, they would be reborn in different realms of life. So that's normal in Buddhist view. And his question in follow the same uh, uh, aspect, the same path, that did those people when they were alive, they follow the Buddha teachings with the strong faith in the Buddha teachings, and after they passed away because of their good karma, they were born in the heaven. Now they came together to listen to Buddha teaching again. So the Buddha says, yes, indeed, that's the case. Those celestial beings have come together in this assembly, and they are those who have heard the Dhammas and attained the perfect confidence in Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, who have accomplished noble moralities. So after they pass away in human realm, they have come to be reborn here. So the Buddha confirmed that yes, they will pass away in human realm, and because of their good merit, of their noble morality, and their strong faith in Buddha, that's why they were born in this heaven. Hmm. So even uh, the God King, the King of God in that heaven, Shaka, heard that Buddha say. So he so admired that, and eventually, right after the Buddha explained one by one uh, the celestial beings uh, spoke uh, to Wembo Mugayana. Uh, they say that blessed one, that's mean Buddha, I too accomplished the perfect confidence in you, and therefore I came to be born here. And now that celestial beings say, and so forth until the numerous devas or celestial beings mentioned about that. Most of them attain the stream entry, that's mean first stage of arahantship. After the discussion, all of them disappear before the Buddha and no longer seen. And please remember that those celestial beings, they have the power to fly around, to appear and disappear because of their merit or noble moralities when they were human. After seeing those celestial beings left, Venerable Mogana stood up and bowed to Buddha. After that, he asked the Buddha, the Blessed One, that's Buddha, for disciples on earth, that means the monks, nuns, laymen, and laywomen, pay respect to the Buddha, and they send a message to you by me that do you have a little disease, a little trouble, you turn at ease in peace, and these four assemblies wish to see the Buddhas, and they say that we humans do not have supernatural power to ascend to the heaven of 33 to pay our respect to the Buddhas, but the celestial beings, they have a great might and power. They can come down to earth to listen to Buddha teachings. So we only wish the Buddhas to come back to the earth after comparison for the four assemblies of disciples. So again, Venerable Mogana represent the four assemblies, that the monks, nuns, and laymen, laywomen, to request Buddha to come back to teach them down. With the reason that as human, they could not fly to the heaven, but those heavenly beings, they could fly down to listen to the Buddha teachings. And one note I want to mention is that when Mogana flew up that heaven and listened to the Buddha teachings, and he recognized us when they were provide those teachings. It's not much different when the Buddha was on earth. So that's why he made the argument that since human cannot fly up to the heaven and the heavens to listen to the teachings, but from those heavenly beings, because of their power and blessing, they could fly down to listen to the Buddha's teachings. So that is why in Buddhist views, all the Buddhas appear in the human realms, not in the celestial realms. One reason, like you mentioned, that human cannot fly to the heaven, but the heavenly beings can fly down to listen to Buddha teaching together with human. And also in the heavens, all kind of heavens, celestial beings, most of the time they enjoy the lifespan, and they enjoy their life, because they could fly anywhere they want to. They could have anything that they wish to have. they could transform themselves into any forms, depend upon their merit and blessing. So it's not easy for them to think much about the spiritual path unless they have some connection with the Buddha teachings when they were in human realms, like those celestial beings that came to that heaven to listen to Buddha teaching. Where the Buddha taught Abhidhamma, a book of analysis, to his mothers. And of course, the Buddha would not be born in the animal realms to become Buddhas, because most of the time animals follow their survival instinct. Has been they just go out to hunt for food, or they just think about their survival. So there's not much thing for them to learn. And of course, the realm of herbivores and the realm of hell, there are so much suffering that those beings just pay attention on those suffering. They could not focus on whichever thing that Buddha taught. For example, if we have headache or stomachache or some kind of severe illnesses, it's not easy for us to listen to other people's advice, but it's not easy for us to concentrate, to read the books and so forth. So that's why Buddha choose human realms to attain the final enlightenment, to follow the Buddha path, not too much suffering and not to indulge in joy of life. So that is why. And after listening to Venerable Mahayana request, the Buddha told him that you can return and tell people down there. After 7 days, I will come back to the city of Samkhya outside the outer gate at the foot of Udambara. So at that time, Venerable Mahayana received that instruction, and he entered Samadhi, and within the split second, he appeared on earth and told the Buddha's disciple that you should know after 7 days, the Buddhas will come back from the heaven to the city of Samkhya outside the outer gate at the foot of the Dumbara trees. So as scheduled, on the 7 days, the Buddha came down from heaven of the 30 trees to the city of Samkhya, to the foot of the Dumbara trees. So at that time, this cave was given by that name. Let me share with you some image here. Here's the image that the Buddha has sent to this Tavatimsa, that's mean the heaven of 30 trees, to teach his mothers, who was one of the celestial beings, as well as numerous celestial beings in that heaven. This is the image, and not the image about the Buddha ascend to the heaven. This is many images that illustrate how the Buddha came down from the heaven right here. One image you see, they say that the Sakya and Indra god kings dread the 3 stairway, the 3 ladders. One is jewel for the Buddha to walk down. Another one is the golden ladder, and the silver ladders for them to walk down from that heaven to the earth. And this is another image that you see the Indra god and the Sakta god together with celestial beings went down from heaven to earth here. And that's this one here too. And this one here, you see that the painting that show how the Buddha walked down from heaven up to the tree down to earth. There's another one here too. That's illustrate how he came down together with those God and celestial beings, and this one was created in the Sanchi stupa that represent illustrate how the Buddha walked down from that jewel ladders. And this one too. So this is a lot of image that illustrate how the Buddha walked down from the heaven. And according to the legend, it says that at first the Buddha thought that he could fly back from the heaven of 33. So another one here. The three ladders, right? The middle one should be the jewel one. The right one, this is the golden one. The left one is the silver one. And those celestial beings follow the Buddha went down. So at first, the Buddha thought that he would use this kind of power to fly down, like the way that he flew up. But the second, the king of gods, requested Buddha to walk down from the heaven. But he thought that if he just walked down, all the people would think that he would not have any more celestial, more supernatural power. So that's why he flew halfway and walked down another halfway down to the earth. So that's illustrate how this is many image that illustrate how the Buddha went down from that heaven. And of course, I explained before that Sariputra, the disciple who is foremost in wisdom, also flew up to that heaven to listen to Buddha teaching of Abhidhammas, and he went down to teach or repeat that teaching for the people on earth during that rainy retreat up to that heaven. And when the Buddha went out, and Sariputra appeared first, and another nuns, I think we talk about the blue lotus flower nun, who attend arahantship and have sacred power. She manifests herself as a wheel-turning king and received the Buddha first. And she told the Buddha after she bowed down, and she said that I came here first to bow down to Buddha. But the Buddha told her, actually, Subhuti, the one who stayed in the cave that ended the samadhi and recognized the emptiness principle, he saw me first. So it first means that by seeing Buddha first doesn't mean anything. The important thing is whether they could understand Buddha teaching or not. They could live with the Buddha or not. That's more important. Okay, so since time is up, I'd like to stop here. Next time I can discuss further after Buddha came down from that heaven. Namo Shakamu Buddha. We'll see you then.